You know what I meant to do?
I'm live streaming.
Oh,
I'm just checking to see if it's working. Okay, we're live. I'm just gonna play the intro. Very exciting. So very excited.
I'm excited. My best friend from New York is flying in right now. Her flight keeps getting delayed.
Aw, sunny Florida.
Well, apparently Jacksonville's having like really bad weather right now or something. That's what's delaying the flight. I don't know. Like the weather's beautiful. Actually, no, it was beautiful earlier. It looks like it's starting to get a little cloudy out there.
Okay, I guess it's live. Okay. I'll probably play the video clips for like a minute or two just so they get to the point.
Yeah.
But then we'll talk about it and keep it brief.
Getting a picture on the TV. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, giant leap for mankind.
Yay.
Ooh, JadaTV.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We are
Today we're here to talk about NFTs.
Yep. I'm Dana Blickensderfer, and we have Sam, our host, with JadaTV, and today we are talking about NFT. What the heck is that? And is it just a trend?
I'm so sick of hearing about NFTs, seeing all the memes about them, and I feel like part of the reason I don't understand NFTs that well, although despite trying my hardest from whatever I can find on the internet about it, is I don't understand cryptocurrency and blockchain and all of that very well. And that's kind of like, I think you need that foundational knowledge of that to even really begin to understand NFTs.
You do, yeah. And I think it's cool because NFTs are at a place where they're making it more user friendly. Like, you don't have to be a coder or be like a nerd per se to know how to do it. That like Coinbase, for example, is like more of an easy way to transaction between like the currency and cash, let's say, or dollar bills, and they're making it. I think PayPal just rolled out like a blockchain, like Bitcoin kind of program. So it's at the phase where this is being introduced, where it's becoming more normalized, because that's the future, right? Not using cash and dollars, but using your wallet for currency exchanges.
Yeah. And from what I understand, even larger, like beyond even just PayPal, like larger banks have their own kind of blockchain technology. You wouldn't necessarily call it a cryptocurrency, but it has like, I guess the idea of it is it works with like a ledger.
Yeah.
With the blockchain, where it's public information to everyone who's traded it.
Yeah, it's a documented transaction chain. But I don't want to get, I'm not educated too much on that side. I just wanted to kind of talk about the subject. I don't want to get lost in the technicals, because I'm not a professional, but it's a fun conversation to have.
Yeah.
So I have some clips to show. But first, like, I wanted to talk about like what is an NFT, and then show some like market opinions from other people that I've been researching to kind of keep it an interesting conversation. So I wanted to show this because when you think of the internet, like when internet 2000s, when it was just rolling out, it was like super, it was like that, right? The animations, the HTML codes. So it was funny because these are the kitties, the Bitcoin kitties that came out that started becoming trendy, and people, that's where it got a lot of viral attention, because who doesn't love to watch cats, right? And then now it's being translated into the NFT world and kind of being a digital image for purchase. So
the thing that infuriates me about this is that you can't, like, you buy it, but you can't get the licensing rights to it.
No,
so people Nyan Cat, the cat with the Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Apparently it sold for like the equivalent of like $600,000, and in my mind, I'm kind of thinking, well, hey, if you can take that and get like exclusive licensing rights, so like Nyan Cat being on T-shirts, posters, coffee mugs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That could be a nice little, like, I could get into that. But what is the point if you don't, because it doesn't give you exclusivity to it.
Yeah, it gives you the original ownership of the, like provenance, like in art. Like you trace back to the original owner, and you can be the original owner. And it's crazy because it's not just digital, it's like tweets. Now, like Mark Cuban sold a tweet for like, he put it up for like $75, and someone bought it and flipped it, and he had a royalty, and then made like 90, like $90,000 on a tweet, and he says this he says it in a video that I was just watching. But isn't that crazy? It's a tweet of Mark Cuban because they thought it was valuable, and he put it up for $75. But the goal was just to see if it would be a thing, and then someone flipped it. But he had a royalty of like 10% on it or 20%, and then made money off of someone flipping it like twice.
Yeah.
Like baseball cards. It's really crazy.
There are some that they have different like stipulations built in to give some kind of dividend, whether it's, like what Mark Cuban had.
Yeah. So when you're uploading, because I've uploaded an NFT for one of my artworks, and at the end, when you go to upload it and kind of make it digitalized to give you like a token number, it asks you what percentage of royalty do you want every time it's being resold, and you can put like 10%. So that's a cool thing, because you can't do that in like, you trust that the museums or galleries are giving you like royalties off of like prints, but you don't know that. So this kind of makes it a absolute, if it's being sold, because all of it's documented.
Yeah.
So
and then my other question is, who is guaranteeing that these dividends are being paid out? Cryptocurrency, it's supposed to be like a currency that exists outside of, it's not really regulated, at least here in the United States. It kind of exists, it's supposed to exist parallel to USD.
Yeah.
So, where's the IRS for the or I guess maybe not the IRS, but who would be regulating it, ensuring that you get paid these dividends you agreed to get paid? Like,
I think that's part of it's a like the Wild West, right? It's a part of the challenges, because I think there's also no like customer service. So some of the sites, like if you like can't get paid for something, it takes if there's an issue. I've read some reviews where you do get refunded or you do get your money, but it might take making complaints, but you can't call anybody. There's no customer service. It's just like working with the site, the website. It's just very interesting. Yeah. So everyone's talking about NFTs. What do NFTs stand for? Non-fungible tokens. What the hell is that? More or less, that's a unique and can't be replaced with something else. So it can't be, for example, a Bitcoin is fungible. Trade one for another Bitcoin, like equal currency exchange, and you have exactly the same thing. A one-of-a-kind trading card, however, it is non-fungible. If you traded it for a different card, you'd have something completely different. Like Pokemon cards, right? You're trading cards, but it's not the same card. You get a different card. So that's why that's why people in the market think this is going to really take off, because we've been collecting cards, baseball cards. That's all. Like, people have trade shows now for vintage baseball cards, right? I mean, I remember being a kid and doing the Star Wars cards. Remember those Star Wars cards? And like playing the game and then trading cards.
Oh, I had Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon.
Yeah, and I believe like Pokemon's about to come up with definitely going to come out with NFTs, and they're going to crush it.
Yeah.
So how does it work? At a very high level, most NFTs are part of the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum is a type of currency, like Bitcoin or Dogecoin, but blockchain also supports these NFTs, which store extra information that makes them work differently than the ETH coin. But I won't get into that. So what's worth picking up at the NFT supermarket? NFTs can be really anything digital, such as drawings, music, anything you download. It could be, I've seen a lot of animations, but I did a still image. It could be a still image. Now I know it can be a tweet. It could be a clip of someone playing basketball. It could be a bundle of images. Like, you can buy an NFT with it, unlocks multiple images, and that's what Mark Cuban did. But a lot of the current excitement is around using the tech to sell digital art. So this was really went viral because it's funny, because this person, Beeple, look, you see how it says download video as?
Yeah.
So you think about this, someone paid thousands and thousands of dollars to own this, but the funny part of this about this meme is the download. Anyone can download it and reshare it. So that's why it's also frustrating for people, because it can go anywhere, but the provenance is like who bought the ownership to the original. It's cool.
Do you know what that is on his body right next to where it says loser?
It's Trump.
No. He has the Ethereum logo. One of the things written on him is the Ethereum logo.
Oh, he does?
Right to the left of where it says loser.
Oh. See? So this is the same artist, I think. So I wanted to go. So Beeple sold an NFT for $69 million. So this happened. The reason why I wanted to show this article is because it's not just a thing, but Christie's auctioned it. So what do we have? We have Christie's, we have Sotheby's, we have some pretty, in the art world, pretty well-known art houses that are making this a commercial thing and making this relevant. So not only are we getting like press that are trying to make it credible, like the New York Times, but we have Christie's now digitalizing artists and using this like trend to make it more credible. So today, an NFT of his work sold for $69 million at Christie's. The sale positions him among the top 3 most valuable living artists, according to the auction house. The record-smashing NFT sale comes after months of increasingly valuable auctions. In October, Winkleman sold his first series of NFTs, which paired going for $66,666. And in December, he sold a series of works for $3.5 million. And last, one of the NFTs that originally resold for $6.6 million. And I thought it was just funny to show this one first, because the controversy is, well, I bought it, now I own it, but people can just, it's true, people can just re-download it a million times. Just like a Mona Lisa, like who owns the original?
And they can print it on a t-shirt and sell it. And, you know.
Yep. But people can sell prints of Mona Lisa, reprint it, and no one's like, then that's okay. That's what happens in the art world. So is that the same as it being okay in the digital world? And that's the conversation happening now, which I think is interesting. Also, Beeple sold at NFT for $69 million. And the interesting controversy about all this, how are you going to show this? So in the article, it's like, well, I can make a projector. You can project it on a wall. You can have it on a TV screen as your screensaver in your home. So these well-off collectors it's in a weird phase where it's like, how do I show everyone my digital artwork that I bought for $69 million?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the interesting issue.
One thing I really wonder about this, okay, so first of all, the one thing that kind of pisses me off about Christie's is I kind of feel like they're playing both sides of the situation, which is honestly, it doesn't piss me off. It's really smart of Christie's.
Yeah.
Because, you know, right as NFTs are starting to really, you know, reach their fever pitch, if that's what it is, who knows, maybe this is really the start of something new. Christie's can't lose either way, and neither can the collector, because right as things are really heating up with NFTs, just kind of in the stratosphere of what everyone's talking about on the internet and around the art world, they get this collection of, it's a cool concept. It's a digital image every day for however many years.
Yeah.
But but they also, Christie's gave them like a physical companion to it, which is really separate from the idea of what an NFT actually is. Like some people might look at that superficially and think, oh, well, you get like a painting too, or
that
like
is interesting that they just give you both. That's an interesting transition, because they still want to make it valuable, but we're used to an older way, like a traditional way of seeing a painting on a wall. And
one thing I am curious about, and I wish I'd looked this up, I didn't think of it until now. It's supposed to be a digital image every day for however many years.
Yeah, I can show the article again.
It's actually a compilation of all these different images. So is the NFT a collage of all of them?
Yeah, it's
or is it each individual one?
This image is the NFT. It's a collage.
Yeah.
of 5,000 images.
I wonder if it has the kind of resolution where you can, if you're looking at it digitally, you can actually zoom in to each one of the images.
Do you see it?
Yeah, it'd be a cool thing to have on like a digital frame, doing like a slideshow of all the different images.
Oh yeah, like individually. Yeah, I'm sure since he put it to all of them as a collage, I'm sure that the collector has the ability to see one at a time. I would hope, because it's sold for a pretty penny.
Imagine this becomes like a genre with NFTs, because like I said, you could have like that kind of slideshow effect to it if you wanted to kind of display it somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like we start to see a lot more NFTs that are actually just compositions of multiple images, and they'd have to be a really, really high resolution photo, which is, or image at least, not necessarily a photo, but I don't know how I would make a photo or a one single image of such high resolution that you can actually get in on all of them and see them.
Yeah. I think, but I think this is just a cool conversation to have, because a lot of people are quoting that this is we're living in the current the future of art history. Like, we're watching art history being made, right? And, to take it a step further outside of the art space, I wanted to show just a clip from like two people that I think are pretty credible. You've got Mark Cuban. Yeah. And Gary V, who's predicts things, and he's usually pretty accurate. So I just wanted to play these clips for a couple minutes, and then we'll stop it, and then I'll kind of just recap what they were saying, and then we can talk about it. But he's talking about, he's thinking of how this is gonna stick. But you know how when Bitcoin came out, it was a craze, and then it was a bubble, and it busted, and then people made money, people lost a lot of money, and then now it's really quiet. Yeah. The same thing he predicts is going to happen with NFTs. Like, you're going to have the bust, you're going to have a bubble. Are we in a bubble right now? That's another question. Another question is, everyone is coming out with their own NFT store. Like, you have Waka Flocka. I just saw an article that Tom Brady is creating an NFT like store where you can upload digital art. So they make money off of they call it minting, where when you like the money you make from the process of the exchange. Yeah. So it's
Ethereum though.
It's right. I just know that the ones that I'm using are with Ethereum. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's outside of Ethereum, but I know for sure that it's with Ethereum. Mm-hmm. But you can use other currencies to purchase it.
Billion, or two even. So I think cherish these moments. It won't be 2018 and 19 anymore. It just isn't.
No. But I've been in this space for 2 years, helping build it from the ground up. Being part of, I think you call it the dirt, right?
Yes. And I love, and that's amazing. And those are what's cool about it is it's all documented. Yeah. Unlike going to the first Pearl Jam concert, you can prove it. You got the videos.
Provenance, baby. Provenance.
And so, one thing I've been thinking a lot about is that new site Scent, where the Jack tweet is going, I want them to have a search function. I'm dying to see the person. This is why people don't understand provenance. Last night, sleeping, said, oh shit, I want to see the first time Bitcoin was said on Twitter. What's the first single tweet that says Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And then of
course,
you find it? I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping is that between Scent and Twitter, in their relationship, if they have a relationship, if they're going to have a relationship, seeing that Jack acknowledged them in such a serious way.
Yeah.
Imagine having the ability to search on one of those two sites the first time a word was mentioned.
Insane.
Insane.
I tried to look for the first time. It was another keyword, but the same thing, right? When was the first time something was said?
So anyway,
it's kind of difficult.
It's gonna matter. Who was ready? Here's some fun stuff. This is what I say with friends that have no idea what I'm talking about. Do you think it's cool to know the first person that bought the first ticket to the first showing of ET? Do you think that's cool?
This is what he's saying,
universally,
that will
everyone's
sell,
like, yes. I'm
knowing
guess what?
you're the
that
original.
Is going to be the world.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be
And then he was saying how, like, well, people are like, I don't get it. He's like, well, why do you buy Gucci? Why do you buy Louis Vuitton? Why do you buy the brand? Like, it's like you're trying to, like, flaunt your, not like ego, but society we're already wired to collect things, like find things that are, and pay for them because there's value, right? So he's saying that, you know, being the first person to, like, discover a band is like just as important as this digital provenance of being the first owner of something valuable. So it goes beyond digital art. It's like just how we're wired as human beings. We've been collecting baseball cards forever. We've been doing, so I think that's cool. I think that's an interesting perspective outside of art, how it's being the first you're the owner of the first, like, you're the original owner of that first digital exchange. Yes, it may be shared a million times, but knowing that you're the owner is the reason why this thing is such a hit, because we already do that in other ways.
I think a big
being
part,
like the one of 6 backpacks of Louis Vuitton, and I bought number 6. Kind of like that.
Yeah, like how they number it like that. Or also, I've heard people compare it to when you buy a Rolex, you get the certificate and you get a number that's in Rolex's database, and you can look up the watch by its serial number, and it'll pull up the registered owner of the watch.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. And you know what, though? I think, you know, the reason why the trend might be annoying is because millions of people are just uploading digital art, and it's just like, oh my gosh. But the people that are going to really make it right now are the first movers and the people that actually have an influence. Some of these platforms like Rarible and Mintable, like, you have to have a certain amount of influence or following on social media to be on their platforms, because you're the one that's bringing the people with the eyeballs to buy the digital work because of your name. It's not just like, you know, John Smith that just decided to make a squiggle and upload it, and he's like, there's thousands of millions of squiggles. Like, I think it also matters right now that you do have an influence of some sort, like Mark Cuban. So I wanted to play this because he's been playing in the space, and it's funny when he talks about it. I don't know at which part he talks about it, but I just wanted to play his discussion for a few minutes, because he's been actually making money off of selling a picture of him walking into a gym and turning it into a GIF, and like he sold a tweet and he made like $90,000 in like a half hour, but because of his name. So a lot of people are, the trend is just a trend and it might fall off, but the future of habits of people owning the first ownership of the digital, you know, number is the whole thing that it's about. That's why people like Gary Vee think it's gonna last for the future.
For a while, people would say, well, you don't understand how email works, you don't understand how the internet works, you don't know SMTTP, HTTPS, everyone just knows it works. And so people might get to a point where blockchain is involved in their lives, they're using it, but they don't need to understand it. That's all interesting, and yet there's also still quite a lot of friction. You know, you talk about something like CryptoKitties, and you say, well, you just have to buy some ETH, then put it in, you know, transfer it to your MetaMask.
Okay, so look at CryptoKitties, right? Now they're on Flow, right? And now they're doing Top Shots. And what did Top Shots do that was great?
Top Shots is the basketball.
There is no cryptocurrency involved, right?
Videos.
You just put your credit card in there and buy your moments like you buy anything else.
Buying a moment.
They created a marketplace, which is no different than eBay or, you know, Amazon, you know, but let's just say it emulates eBay, which is just an open marketplace for anything, only because it's digital, it's in near real time, and you just pay a transaction fee, and you don't have all the hassles of receiving or sending like you do if you buy or sell a mouse, you know? And so it's a simplification and a reduction of the friction and things we otherwise already do. And that's going to bring people to the platform. I think that's your point, right? That when you simplify it, you're going to bring a lot of neophytes to the platform that are going to get excited about it. And that's what we're seeing with Top Shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why Coinbase has done so well, for example, because even regular people, Joe Main Street, who they hear about Bitcoin and maybe they've decided, I'm willing to buy a little bit of crypto, but it can't be 3-4 steps, you know, and that's the big promise, is reducing that friction. You better make it really easy for them to get into this space.
Well, exactly right. Especially with the know your customer laws and everything, you've got to be able to deal with smaller investors or speculators or traders, whatever, and just pop in a credit card. And
it's gotta be
Coinbase
really
has done a great
easy
job.
to
And on
do.
top of that, Coinbase will give you free crypto if you do their rewards programs with, I'm one of those people who have done it. Give me some of this or give me some of that. I'll take my 3 minutes and answer the questions and watch the videos. Sure. I mean, they've been really, really smart in simplification and marketing.
And of course, it's not just Coinbase now, no surprise. Some of those non-pure play crypto companies, consumer-facing names, Robinhood, PayPal, Square, they've added Bitcoin buying because, they want to grab from that funnel. And I guess I'd zoom out and say, we've been talking about the applications of this tech, but if we look at the price surge and the recent Bitcoin bull run, it seems to me it's very much part of the sort of retail investor revolution. It's not unrelated to the pandemic. This stuff all accelerated, in 2020. And the GameStop stuff was related. I mean, yes, it was GameStop, but it's Reddit fueled, it's social media fueled. And I'd ask your take on that. I mean, how was crypto involved with that? How was all that stuff good for crypto adoption as well?
It's the whole concept of decentralization and fighting demand, right? It's all about governance. WSB investors, GameStop, AMC, etc. They want to govern themselves. They don't want to be dictated to by anybody else. And so, Wall Street Bets is its own form of governance and voting. They're all staking in their own little way. Sometimes you may stake great information, a research report you wrote, and you let it ride and see what kind of returns you can get. But when you have all these validators effectively who have staked, they bought GME or AMC, that's their staking, right? And maybe I'm getting all the terminology wrong because I'm just learning some of it, but they're staking it and then they're becoming validators, right? And
so see how he's still learning, but we're just, people are just out there creating content. So I think it's great. I think my personal opinion is it's going to be here for sure, and it's going to continue to evolve because, it's becoming easier and easier to use like Bitcoin through Squares and PayPal, and I think that will just become, it's the part of the future, right? Digital, especially a Metamodern artist being a digital.
I was about to say, are NFTs Metamodern? Yes! I kind of think they are.
Yes, it's a digi exchange, and we are digital artists.
Yeah, I keep hearing people trying to explain NFTs like this. And this is kind of one, it's almost like a conspiracy theory that people think the future of NFTs could be. I think in reality, what people hope the future of NFTs are is a little more abstract, and will kind of know when we get there.
Yeah.
But some people have compared it to, have you ever seen the movie or read the book Ready Player One?
Mm-mm.
The whole concept for it is it's like this dystopian future where everyone lives for the most part in like shacks, and they have the most like they live in absolute squalor, and but they all have these VR headsets. Everyone has them. It's like the most common kind, and you go to this digital world called the Oasis.
Yeah.
And people spend most of their lives in the Oasis,
like
and they're not really concerned with their physical surroundings. And so while I don't think people necessarily think it's going to get that extreme, but I think the idea is that we kind of are living more and more of our lives online. Same way, I can't even tell you how much money I've spent on my nieces and nephews giving them $20 Fortnite gift cards. We already spend money for these digital things that have actually like no tangible value.
Yeah.
In the real world. And I think, maybe some people like to subscribe to these conspiracies that this is where it's heading, that we're we're all gonna be trapped online. But
yeah.
I mean, the person who invented or was one of the founders of Ethereum is 27.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I think 27, Canadian Russian guy, according to his Wikipedia.
Okay.
He started it in 2015, which was 6 years ago.
Wow.
He was 21 when he started it.
Good for him.
Good for him, right? It's pretty cool. So, I don't know that I will be buying any NFTs, but I want to sell them. So.
See? But you want to be a part of the game.
Yeah.
And it's interesting right now. People think it's gonna stay. I mean, if you keep listening to some of Mark Cuban's interviews, he says how people think it's rebellious right now because it's like going against the banking system, but at the same time, it will eventually be accepted, like PayPal and Squares that are used for the mass public will be able to integrate other currencies with their daily lifestyle, and as it becomes more and more easier for the end user to just do 3 steps versus like inserting a code and stuff like that, it will become more popular. Some of these sites are very like, when you upload an NFT, it can be a little confusing because and then it sends you this code and it's like not user friendly. But now they're rolling out like with sites every day and new stores. Like Tom Brady just posted he's creating an NFT store, and Tom Brady's like the quarterback in Florida right now. And like I'm in Atlanta right now, and I know Waka Flocka is posting a NFT store, Satoshi Art, like. And they're making it easier for artists to just expand their audience base. But I think it's not going to be successful for a lot of artists because right now Christie is probably going to maximize people's names and influence. So I wanted to talk about for the last like 10 minutes how people can, if they're interested to upload, how do they do it, right? So this is, sorry. Okay. So how can you upload art, right? I watched some videos. I spent like a whole weekend like watching a million different reviews, and like there's so many things to learn. It's such like a wild, wild west because like there's this thing called minting where like once you upload, your pricing fluctuates based on the market of the time of day. It matters what time of day you upload it for the best value. Like it can get really technical.
The price is tied to the value of the Bitcoin?
Of the Ethereum.
Or Ethereum,
yeah. So it does. And there's like a site that you go to. Hold on. It's called MetaMask, and you can download it, and it tells you it's a crypto wallet for Ethereum, and that's the site. For example, right now I'm using Mintable. Mintable is really easy because you don't have to like mint. People can buy with American dollars on this site. They don't have to use Ethereum.
So then you get paid in Ethereum.
Yeah, you do, but it's user friendly for people not really well known in this market. So you can connect your wallet, and I'm using Coinbase. And it's really easy to put money in and to then cash out, right? You can you can connect it to your bank account. It's very secure. I saw a lot of reviews, and then I posted this for 150, and look, today it's 159, so it's up, right? It's weird because it fluctuates with the marketplace. So this is my store. I use Mintable. There's a lot of tutorial videos. You can create like a store, but it costs like $720, which is like 0.60 Ethereum. So it gets really, really intricate. So I just wanted to see really fast.
Is there NFT stores are essentially stores that take Ethereum as payment, or that pay or like deal with Ethereum. Mintable is a little different than other stores. When you say Tom Brady has a store, Waka Flocka has a store.
Yeah, they have a store.
Payment.
No, it's a store where you can upload your work, and then eventually you bid there, like eBay. You bid on there and you buy art. And I was watching a video vlog, and they say gasnow.org is a good site to see what the market is for the best time to purchase, where the minting is low, so you get more money. And you want to be under around 60, he said. And like this is actually good because last week I saw it was like 190. So it actually fluctuates with the market. So maybe
are there patterns where you can predict what time would be better, or do you just have to kind of keep tabs on it?
I think you'd have to keep tabs. I'm sure there's sites. I mean, it's showing you a trend here, pending transactions, and then it's going down. So this would be a good time to mint because you get more dollars for your Ethereum. but I'm very new at this, and I'm not gonna be an I'm not gonna like teach you this. I'm just showing you what I'm using right now to learn, which is gasnow.org. I use Coinbase to insert my American dollars to then convert it to Ethereum. And then this site, Mintable, is a site where you can create an account, upload your art, and it's really user friendly. All you have to do is mint an item. Like, it's super simple steps. Create a new item, you upload your artwork, you connect your wallet, and then you go through the process of listing art. And I did that last week, and it's not like I really marketed it. I'm just playing around, but you can see your listing. 17 people viewed it. People can review it and like it. And then I posted it for $150, and now it's up $9. So the Ethereum, the American dollar is getting the best value. It's just crazy, right? And then you browse, you can see things that are sold or recently purchased. And this is like thousands and thousands, and I'm sure they'll progress over time. Like this, I don't see this. It's not a mobile app or anything. It's like only on the desktop. But eventually, everything's gonna continue to convert, right, and become easier for us to do this.
Yeah. My whole thing is, where do you cash in? Like, where do you go? I want to trade my Ethereum to dollar.
Coinbase is your wallet. That's the place where
you can do it instantaneously. Like, okay, I want to transfer this over, or is it like when you try and cash in on a stock and you gotta wait a couple days?
I haven't done that part, so I can't give you that answer. But I'm not sure how long it would take at the moment. But this is where you would go to insert American dollars, and then use it and convert it, and then convert it back and cash out. And this site gets a lot of great reviews.
That's pretty cool. Send me the referral link to get a free Bitcoin. We'll both get a free Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. So that is what we're learning today. So interesting, right?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I want to sell one. I want to see if people are really going to start buying these all the time. But
Yeah. So overall, Jada's opinion is NFTs are a part of the conversation. It is I do personally think, as Dana Blickenserver, I think that it's going to stay. It's going to evolve and bust and bubble. And people are going to lose a lot of money. It's going to have all this crazy fluctuation, just like Bitcoin, but it's going to stay. And it's going to continue to be an option for artists to have prints. Now they have 2D work. Now they can actually have a NFT where you can be the rights to own the first digital image or imprint of the work. So there's another way for artists to maximize and create art that reaches audiences and sells online in different ways.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think one way I see that NFTs could be really sustainable, and I think this is ideally what Ethereum wants to do to remain, to be profitable, make them lots of money, the 27-year-old is probably imagining, is that if Ethereum becomes a payment accepted across different digital, like the same way we take Amex, MasterCard, PayPal,
yeah, exactly.
Apple Pay,
we take
different
Ethereum
places
everywhere. It becomes more commercial.
Yeah,
that's the future.
It'll be more for trading with different digital tokens. So say in the future, there's no individual Fortnite cash is what my nieces and my nephew get when they play Fortnite. There's no
Monopoly money when you play Monopoly.
Yeah. But it becomes this thing you can use to everything digitally would be priced in Ethereum, because you have people all over the world that play video games on the same server, or play games together, interacting online together. That don't necessarily, they're in different countries, they have different currencies, unless they're in the European Union or something.
No, I think so. I think the more, like you said, there's so many factors not only is it like a buzz right now for digital art, but it's a buzz in the sports world because, you know, we went through a pandemic and no one was going to basketball games. So now they're crushing it with this Top Shop. I think that's what it's called, where you create moments, digital basketball replay moments, and they're selling the originals, and they're making so much money because people are naturally love to do certain things. It's human nature, and that's why people like Gary Vee think it's going to be successful, because we're just going along with human nature in just a digital way. But you're right. The more that Ethereum is a quarter, the more that it's common, then the more that it's going to be used. It's still the Wild West. It's still very confusing. There's very weird sites that are hard to upload and hard to understand. You have to use multiple sites to understand what's going on. It's not easy, but it's going to get there soon. And I thought it was an important conversation to have because it is so cool. Like, it is.
We should have a part 2 of this.
We
should have a part 2 with Susie.
Yes.
I want to get Susie talking about NFTs.
Yeah, no, we should definitely keep the conversation going. This is just the start. And then, like, Jamie was supposed to join us. He did an NFT too. He's part of Jada. And I wanted to show his NFT, but I couldn't find the link. But anyway, he's really into it. And then the future of, it's just crazy that art auctions are using it. And it's not going to go away tomorrow. So it's definitely, we'll have this conversation again. And it's the first of many. And I think it's fun because it's debatable. Like, I think it's funny because there's a lot of satirical comments about it. Like, someone was selling their farts, like the sound, for a year of pandemic, like him and his guy friends. And then he like made a file and he uploaded it and he sold it. And that was a story in the news, and I'm like, oh, that's so gross. But it's just funny because they're putting value on your gas.
It's it almost like like something like that. It just seems like this has to be money laundering. Like,
I know what's going on. Yeah.
Azealia Banks sold one of her audio sex tape.
See, like that. But that's a evolution because sex tapes is a scandal. But it's been around a long time. But now you're selling just the sound. I mean, that's so crazy. And then, but that's like, now you have Clubhouse, which is like, you don't see people, but you just hear them. I don't know. Things are just evolving digitally, and that is interesting. Selling sex noises.
I gotta get on Clubhouse. You sent me the link. I want to get on there.
Yeah, Jada's going to be on Clubhouse soon, guys. So you watch out. But thank you so much. This was a fun conversation. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for the viewers that joined us. And we'll be back next Sunday around 4 o'clock for our next live stream with, I think Manu is we're going to show his video. It's going to be subtitles in English, but he's going to talk about his art process all the way from Brazil. So we'll see you next week. And thank you, Sam, for your time. And back to having a great week. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.